One of my favourite ways to cook is actually pulling different ingredients from the freezer and the pantry and seeing what I can create with it. The leftovers, the little bits of herb ends. And this is how this recipe came about. It's a freezer pantry veggie pie. And I've pulled the remaining veggies out of the freezer, like my peas, my frozen broccoli, and my frozen beans. So lots of greens going in there.
As always with you, Jack.
Always. And because I didn't have any onion or garlic in the actual pantry at the time that I was making this, I'm using a garlic-infused extra virgin olive oil to get the garlic flavour in, which I had in the pantry.
Nice. So it really is, whatever you've got lying around, bit of this, bit of that, use it up.
That's right, you know.
No waste.
Nah, no waste in our house.
Love that.
We need our veggies to defrost in the pan. Let's add some stock to it. We have a vegetable stock to pop in, about a cup of our vegetable stock. This is an all-natural stock. It's got beautiful flavour. It's a really easy way to get additional flavour in. And again, something that you'd have on hand in the pantry. There's no added MSG or additives.
They're a lifesaver. Having those in your pantry, like, I love making fresh stocks. Barely ever have the time to.
Yeah.
A couple of those, they're packed full of flavour and they go such a long way. Even the powder stuff, like, I love it. Like, they're always in my cupboard.
Yeah, it makes cooking so much easier. So we want those to defrost. We've got the veggie stock in. We're going to give them around maybe 5 or 6 minutes so they're just tender because we don't want them too soft because they'll go in the oven as well. And then we'll get the rest of our ingredients in there too. Our veggies have defrosted. So I'm going to add in the spices and herbs that I have in the pantry most commonly, which is my sweet paprika. Always have that in the pantry. It's just such an easy way to get some flavour into a dish. And some Italian herbs. What do you reckon your top 3 spices are?
Ooh.
And herbs?
Chili, garlic powder. I love garlic powder.
Good call.
Especially on rubs and stuff.
Yeah.
And probably turmeric. Turmeric or cumin. I could just keep naming. I'm a huge spice fan. You know, I love my spices.
You can't go wrong. I think if you have a good library of spices and you get to know a few of them and learn a few ways with each spice, it's a great way to use them up and to get creative with your cooking and to transform a meal, right?
Absolutely.
That's what spices
Introduce
do.
different flavour profiles to different things.
Yeah.
And the only way to learn it is just trial and error.
That's
Do you know what I
it.
mean?
Give it a crack.
We're not phenomenal at what we do. We just practice and we try things that work and some don't.
Yeah.
It's my life.
Yeah.
And trust me, my kids tell me when they're not right.
They're harsh critics, aren't they?
They are.
So I'm adding in some wholemeal flour. Again, that's something I have always in the pantry, or a spelt flour. Just flour helps to thicken it here. And we'll add in our legumes. Today I'm going to use some cannellini beans, but again, use whatever tinned legumes that you would have in the pantry. We always have a pretty solid selection, and lots of them too, because I certainly find as a nutritionist, one of the things that is missing from veggie pies is protein.
Yeah.
Whilst vegetables do contain amino acids, our building blocks for protein, I want some more solid protein sources in there because that's what helps keep our appetite at bay, helps you stay fuller for longer. So popping some legumes in there is the way to do it.
Do you know what? I can't remember the last time I made a veggie pie, and it's one of those things you've just reminded me. Great to add to my Monday rotation.
Yeah.
So I try and do meat-free Monday, you know, plant-based. So it's a really nice one.
I'd love to be in your house on a meat-free Monday. I think it'd be fun. All right, so I'm happy with those. Now we're going to get in a few more of the flavours that I want, like a tomato paste. That's also an ingredient that's literally always in our fridge or pantry ready to go.
Yeah.
Also, the nutritional yeast. It's just got that natural cheesiness.
I remember the first time I tried it, I was really surprised by the flavour of it.
Yeah,
You know,
it
'cause
is
obviously-
surprising.
Yeah, like it's a really gorgeous flavour, especially for things like this.
Let's face it, it looks a little bit like fish food. So it could be a little bit off-putting to some people at first, but it has a cheesiness, it has an umami kind of taste that comes through. And our final little addition to the pie filling is some caramelized onion or onion relish, that's what goes in. Because we didn't add any onion or garlic to the start, I used the garlic-infused oil, and so I really want to get these caramelized onions in here as well. And we'll grab our phyllo from the fridge, and then we'll have a bit of fun making the phyllo pastry on the top. They're all cooked. Let's get our phyllo pastry on the top. Now, I'm going to make this as simple as possible for everyone because not everyone wants to play with pastry and make it look too finessed. So we're going to do the phyllo scrunch, which is my favourite style. Because if you've brought together a budget-friendly meal in just a few minutes, then why not make the top part a little bit easy as well? So you kind of make almost, I don't know, would you call that a rose?
It is. It's a pluche. It's a rose.
A pluche. You've got all these great French names for things. I'm like, is it a rose?
I'm probably making up words again, Jack.
Scrunch? What is it? So we'll just scrunch some over the top and be really generous with the phyllo because it's all part of the meal.
And then you brush it afterwards?
Yeah, or maybe we'll divide and conquer. Do you want to scrunch and I'll brush?
If you're happy with my scrunches.
Let's do it. I love your scrunches. There's nothing like a chef's scrunch. So be generous with the extra virgin olive oil. Again, something you'd have in the pantry, so always on hand. And we want that golden finish on the phyllo pastry, so making sure it's well coated. So we're going to continue popping the phyllo around the pie dish, then get it into the oven at 180 for around 20 to 25 minutes. Keep an eye on it. You want that beautiful golden finish on the phyllo pastry, so if you need a little bit longer, leave it in for longer. And then it's time for a good old budget-friendly freezer pantry pie. Have I given you confidence back in phyllo pastry again?
Oh, absolutely. It looks stunning.
Ah, thanks.
Stunning.
Yeah, so I'm just going to cut a little bit around here for us to try. All good crunch factor going on.
Gorgeous crispiness.
All the veggies in there.
And it's just packed full of goodness. Like, it's a zero guilt pie.
But you know what would actually make this a beauty? Is a little bit of extra tomato sauce.
Oh, well, I did bring you a present, Jack.
Oh, I thank you.
My homemade.
Oh, my favourite. This is honestly the best tomato sauce
Not
going
part of that
around.
tomato sauce, is it, guys?
Never. Look at the richness in that tomato sauce. Look, we do make a good team.
That's it.
Bread to my butter, pie to my sauce. Yum.
Love it.
Time to try. There we go. Lots of veggies, lots of good, buttery phyllo with the olive oil to top it off. A great way to pull together all the ingredients from the freezer and the pantry and create a very fun meal that's got lots of great nutrition too.
And it tastes amazing. Like, just it's beautiful flavour. That stock's carrying a lot of flavour in there. The veggies are just cooked perfectly. The beans are delicious. And that pastry's super crispy.
And a moment for the tomato sauce.